Our seventh school today is our newest school in the conference, Truman State University. The Bulldogs, who played a century worth of football in the MIAA, are coming off a 4-7 record and an 11th place finish in conference action. Greg Nesbitt, a 1980 Truman graduate, is set to begin his fourth year on the sidelines at Kirksville, Missouri, and today is joined by redshirt sophomore defensive end Devin Gillespie. Devin and Coach, thanks for joining us today. Coach, let's begin a little bit with a few opening comments about the Bulldog program in general on this 2013 season.
Well, in general, Tim, I'm an alum. I played there 76 or 79. It's a rich, storied football tradition. A lot of folks don't know that. It's the 8th winningest program in the nation with 538 wins. We had 26 conference championships as we are leaving the MIAA, which is still the most in the league, and I think we're the winningest NCAA football program in the state of Missouri. And for our alums, it's extremely important, as now I'm one of the family, to get us back to where we once were and were for a very long period of time.
Thanks, Coach. You got 9 starters returning on offense, including all MIAA wideout senior Dallas Greer. What can we expect from the Bulldogs offense in 2013?
Well, we think we're, for the first time, Tim, since we've gotten there, building an offensive line has been a chore. We actually have 6 kids in that unit that have started multiple games in their career. We actually have 13 guys on that side of the football that have started at least 5 or 6 football games in their college career. So we, certainly with experience, you and I know how important that is, and a veteran signal caller and Conrad Scheidel from Kearney, Missouri, just up the road. Dallas, all of us, we expect that we've got a chance to have perhaps a breakout year on that side of the football.
6 starters are gone from the defensive side of the ball. Both of us have love for the defensive side of the ball. I had to throw that in.
All 3 of us.
All 3 of us. But it appears you have a couple of solid anchors in junior linebacker Connor Nagel and lineman Jeremy Dockery and Matthew Smith. And the gentleman right next to you and Devin Gillespie. Why don't you talk a little bit about your defense, Coach?
Well, our front 6, we return not only our starters, Tim, but our backups. So we feel very, very good about that. Devin, who's sitting on my right, Devin Gillespie from Hazelwood Central, actually played 3 state championship games here in Missouri and is a speed guy, obviously, off the edge. So we feel good about our ability to slow you down initially with the run, which all of us know the importance of that. We are turning over our secondary, so we've got some work to do, and that'll be something for our fans to keep their eye on. How quickly they progress is the quickest way to get beat is over the top. So we minimize or eliminate that as much as possible, and we think we'll have a shot to put together a good unit there as well. A very fine place kicker also in Derek Kuhn from Liberty. Was actually an All-American 2 years ago and set an MIAA conference record for most consecutive field goals. That was a 20-year-old record. It was actually broken that same year by the Zerline kid who's now kicking for the Rams. So we've been really blessed to have Derek, and he's on his last year for us and is actually getting a little look in some of the professional leagues. So a nice Liberty boy and a Kansas City area guy that's a fantastic player for us.
Devin, I want to turn it to you a little bit. Yeah, you were redshirted in 2011 and saw some action last year in all 11 games. Talk about taking a step up this year into leading role on the Truman defense. I know what type of high school program, being a Blue Springs guy, I know how good you were and how quick you are, like Coach said. So talk about the Truman defense.
Basically, coming up from the leadership standpoint, I'm kind of just piggybacking off a leadership role I had in high school. I pretty much just keep the same expectations and just try to carry it over to my teammates. Now at the collegiate level, and so far it's worked out pretty good.
Coach, let's talk a little bit about special teams. You've already touched upon it a little bit, but as a whole, give us a little rundown on your 2013 squad. Both of us know that that's a third of the game.
Absolutely. Talked about Derek Kuhn. We're blessed to have back. We lost another Kansas City, Kansas punter in Eric Phillips, who was an all-league. We've been, Tim, in the top 5, I believe, in the nation in net punt over the last 2 or 3 years. I don't want to misspeak, so I know it's 2. I think it's 3. We think we've got a Kirksville boy, Jacob Lamp, who punted the ball as well or better than Eric throughout all last year. Obviously, field position, hang time, directional punting, and doing it under fire in a game, something to keep our eyes on, but we do have a kid that's ready to go there. And then long snapping, we also lost a Kansas City kid, Greg Eagle, who might have been the finest long snapper in MIAA, and we think obviously we've got some guys to step in, but we're solid there. And our kickoff coverage, our punt coverage units have been national caliber the last 2 seasons consecutive, so hopefully we won't see any change there.
David, tell us a little bit, and you're the first student athlete I've been able to ask this question to because you're new in the conference for coming from Truman State. Tell me a little bit about the conference change, the way you see it as a student college athlete.
Really, from a player standpoint, it really wasn't any of our control as in reference to the transition. So we're really just going with the flow and seeing what the schedule is and really much just playing off what decisions are made by the executives.
Devin, you are a St. Louis native, which I mentioned already, and I'm familiar with your play in high school. Now the GLVC affiliation basically brings you road games closer to home. And here we are in St. Louis promoting GLVC football. Talk a little bit about having a few more games closer to home and your family being able to attend.
Oh, that'll be an awesome sight, not just for me, but my family. It's kind of been a little tough getting part of the side to come all the way out there to Kirksville or Kearney, Nebraska, as we went last year. So I think to come somewhere like McKendree or Quincy, even Indianapolis, will be a little bit more reasonable.
You better work out a lot better for your family as a whole. So,
absolutely.
Well, Coach and Devin, thank you for joining the GLVCsports.com, and best of luck to you guys this season in your inaugural year in the conference.
Thank you.
You bet. Thanks for coming out.
You bet.